Hello, dear students. I'm Miss Tania Poveda. This is Accounting 2. Welcome to the class. Remember that all the information I'm working here, you can download it and save it on your computer. So this is a reminder for you to put this PPT presentation or PowerPoint presentation on your computer, as you can see in this picture. Okay? So don't forget to do that. You can take notes if you need to. Use a notebook or a folder, pen or pencil. That's going to be very important for you to remember the information. Okay, let's continue. Well, last week we started talking about pay and benefits. Do you remember about that? We were talking about wages, salary, and benefits. Today we're going to continue with part 2, which is remuneration or compensation. Okay, so here we're going to decide what is the correct term we have to use, remuneration or compensation. Let's start with remuneration. As you can see in the picture, we're talking about money, and these plants represent money that is growing. You see these plants here, growing money, okay? Usually when you go to an interview for a job, one of the main questions is how much money you will get for your job. So you ask like, how much will I get paid? When we're talking about the total amount of money we're going to receive, that is remuneration. So what is employee remuneration? Employee, and I want you to pay attention on the spelling here, employee is the worker. Because if we replace this last E by R, we might say employer, and in that case, is the boss, the owner, or manager of the company. Worker, it's other word for employee. Employee remuneration refers to the reward or compensation given to the employees for their work performances. Okay, so it's the money you receive for your job. Provides basic attraction to an employee to perform job efficiently and effectively. And I like this word here, attraction, because sometimes you are like, oh, that money is not like enough. So you felt attracted to the job because of other reasons, other benefits. So that's why I'm highlighting this word here, because it's like the main word in this case. Okay? So now you're probably thinking like, hey, but last class we were talking about salary, and salary is pretty much the same, the money you receive. So what's the difference between salary and remuneration? What do you think it is? Now that you already know the meaning of salary and the meaning of remuneration, do you remember? Can you tell me the difference? I can wait. I'm kidding, we can continue. Let's see the difference. Salary is the fixed amount of money that is given to an employee on a monthly basis. I'm going to highlight this word here, fixed. Why is that? Fixed means that you can't receive more or you can receive less of the money you signed for. It means you are always going to receive the same amount of money every month in this case, which is good because you can plan your month. You can administrate that money the way you need to. So that's a salary, a fixed amount of money. Stop there. Let's continue now with remuneration, which is also an amount of money, but it is a broader term that salary, as it consists of bonus, I'm going to underline this, incentives, stocks, and others, in addition to the basic salary of the employee. In other words, remuneration is going to be that extra money you are going to receive for something extra that you did. And we're going to check remuneration definition and examples later. Okay, so salary, fixed amount of money, remuneration, extra money. And here we have an examples like bonus, that you know what that is, incentives, sounds pretty much the same in Spanish, and stocks. And I would like you to check on the dictionary what is the meaning of stocks, because sometimes you can confuse with inventory. It is not only the inventory of your company, sometimes it's a part of the company, shares, or a part of a share of a company. But we're going to study about that later, so don't worry too much right now. So here I decide to write again the definition of salary and remuneration so we can see them in the same page. Let's read together. So salary is a fixed compensation for services paid to a person on regular basis. Salary consists on yearly gross wages. Employer can pay this in an hourly rate or a fixed amount on regular basis. Salary does not include the value of benefits. I think I use this one better. Does not include the value of benefits such as insurance, allowances, and perks. Do you remember perks? Last week we were talking about this. It's like benefits, right? And remuneration is paid or compensation that one receives for a service not on regular basis. So it's some extra job, some extra money. It includes all forms of employment compensation, such as free accommodation. These are examples of remuneration, those extra money, that extra money that comes into you. Free accommodation, stock options, sales commissions, allowance, and bonuses. It also includes your salary. In other words, remuneration is your salary plus those extra things. So now you know the difference between salary and remuneration. But today we're talking about remuneration and compensation. Okay, compensation. Do you know this word in Spanish? It sounds and spells pretty much the same. Which is important to understand here. It's when we're talking about remuneration and compensation, it's money that you can calculate in your account, in your accounting year, your accounting period. Do you know how long is an accounting period in a company? Okay, in case you don't know, or in case you don't remember, it's important that we know that companies work in different ways. Some companies consider a whole year their accounting period. That's actually the most common way to calculate their numbers, to present their reports. And it's about 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days. That's an accounting year. So you consider all that time to calculate your numbers. Other companies do it quarter of year. For example, every 3 months, and others every 6 months. It depends on how the company is organized, okay? And these compensations and remunerations are going to be calculated as any other account in your accounting period. Okay? So I'm going to ask you something right now. Is the accounting period the same for all companies? No, right? So you can calculate it every 12 months or every year, 6 months or 3 months. Some companies close their accounting year in January and others do it in December. Okay? Again, that depends on how the company is organized. Saying this, we can continue with worker compensation. Any idea what that is? Let's read the definition. So compensation means all remuneration, you already know what remuneration is, all remuneration capable of being expressed in terms of money. Express in terms of money. So you can write it down or calculate it in your accounting period, which is the terms of contract of employment, expressed or implied, where fulfilled be payable to a person employed in respect of his employment. Is that clear? If it's not, here I'm going to let you know some types of compensation. As this is going to be some extra things for you to feel better working in the company you're going to work. Some examples of types of compensations are base pay, commissions, overtime wages, tips or tip income, bonus pay, recognition or merit pay, benefits, stock options, and other non-cash benefits that you can calculate into money. So let's say that you receive a car. So in your accounting, you are not going to say like a car and that's it. You have to say a car and then say how much the car cost. So you become that present into numbers. Because remember that it's expressed in terms of money. Okay? So remember that remuneration is your salary plus some extra and some extra money, and compensation is that extra things that the company gives you. Why is compensation important? Here we have some reasons why it is important that all companies have compensation for workers or for employees. So let's read together. Because retain good employees. You want good people working with you and for you, right? So when someone knows that it's going to be compensated, is going to receive something extra for the job, that person is going to be more responsible. Because it increases, maintain moral and satisfaction. Let's say that you are sick. You have flu, for example. Because you have these benefits. For example, here, you have some health insurance. You know that you can have a flu, go to a doctor, don't pay for it because the company is covering, and get some medicine. And you will feel grateful to the company because it's like a win-win negotiation. It's like you win health and medicine, and the company is going to win a happy employee. Because of reward and encourage peak performance. When an employee or a worker is happy, believe me, that worker is going to be more productive because they feel recognition. They feel that they are doing a good job, so they are going to do it better. That's the reason why compensation is important. And I want you to go to this example again, like recognition or merit pay. Have you ever gone to McDonald's and seen like the best employee of the month? They probably receive some extra money because they did an extra good job. So that's a reward, recognition, and they get some extra money. That is going to be called compensation. Other reason is because it reduced turnover and encouraged company loyalty. And for me, the most important word in this statement is loyalty. What is loyalty? Loyalty means that you're going to be respectful to the company. It means that you're going to be so comfortable and happy working in the place you are that you're not going to be looking for other company to run to. It means you're going to work there as long as you can, maybe forever. That's what we call reduced turnover. People want to be there and they stay there and they fight for the company. They work hard because they are loyal. Okay? Now I'm going to explain a little bit about the homework that you have to do for next week. Remember that this is the second part of pay and benefits. And this week, I'm going to include some expressions that we learned last week. So last time we were talking about wages, salaries, and benefits. Here you have some examples like Luigi, Ivan, and Catherine. You are going to read this about these people, about Luigi, Ivan, and Catherine. And on the next presentation, you are going to need to complete these expressions here on these pink spaces with the words that you have on the opposite, on the A opposite. This is A opposite. So you have salary, overtime, perks. Try to identify the bold words. Earn, wages, minimum wage, fringe benefits, bonus, pension, benefits package, etc. All of this I already explained last week. So if you need it, check it again and complete. Check that video again. And then you read and you complete. So here on these spaces, you can write. You are going to receive this PPT presentation too, as I always do. So here it says, Javier and Yvonne are talking about Javier's new job as a photocopier salesman. Complete the conversation using words from A opposite. Javier says, I get paid every month. Yvonne says, I see, you get a salary, not wages. You already know that salary is a fixed amount of money every month, and wages is per hours. The money you receive per hours. And you have to do the same in all these sentences from 2 to 7. Easy, right? And on the second part of the homework, you're going to have about compensation. You will have 2 readings here about Alan. My name's Alan. And you can see some bold words. Share options, stock options, performance-related bonuses. And then in compensation 2, which is also used to talk about money and other benefits, etc., etc. So you have to read, and here we're going to mix reading comprehension skill and also vocabulary and accounting knowledge. To do what? Well, you are going to read these 4 articles and you are going to identify the possible expressions you can use here. So it says, which expressions from B and C opposite could be used to continue each of these newspapers extracts? B and C opposite are these ones, B and C. B and C, you have some expressions here in bold, so read. Use a dictionary if you need to. Go to Google, check one of my videos, whatever you need. read these newspapers extracts, and then here on the right, you can write your answers. So I already did this because in number 1 says that you have 2 possible expressions, so 1 or 2. This is number 2, 2 possible expressions, here or here. 3, it says only 1, and 4, apparently I cut this part here, but it's 1 option. And that's it. So remember, this is reading comprehension. Use a dictionary if you need to. Don't be afraid of open on your phone a dictionary. I recommend you to use the Oxford Business Dictionary because that's really good to explain about accounting terms. You don't have to buy it. You can check it online. It's for free. So that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed and that you learned a lot. That's what I want the most. Have a wonderful afternoon and see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.